Hi. Um, I'm just going to do a follow on for my kind of spitballing session this morning, in front of the Christmas tree. And I kind of touched upon the demographic shift in Hong Kong. And it's correlates with a pattern right across the Western world as well. So New Zealand is set to basically be completely demographically changed by 2028, when the kind of European settled population will be down to less than 50%. Canada's on the same track line, and again, it's all important third world populations. Now, it's the same issue in the UK, and that kind of escalated after Brexit. So, I mean, a lot of the time they could talk about it as like an economic issue. I'm not entirely sure it is, or never ever has been. They're trying to change the populations for more than one reason. And you've got European Anglofied countries which have got a kind of different mindset to other nations. Like in Hong Kong, I got the impression that the Chinese government would happily transplant the mainland Chinese population into Hong Kong to, if not displace them, but to create a secondary majority, which would be more in favour of these Chinese government's attitudes. And that could be just because the Chinese population there had basically been brainwashed to the point where they didn't have any free thought. And the Hong Kong Chinese were more independent thinkers. They'd had 100 plus years of living under a different regime or system. And I think that's a lot of the reason why a lot of them are transferred straight to the UK. And a lot of the reason why they kind of blend into the British population a lot easier than other people would do. And bearing in mind they're not even ethnically the same. But it's pretty clear that it's a deliberate act, and like I say, I don't think it's based on economic issues. I think it's based on changing the population to change the thought process of the people there. You're importing people with a completely different mindset and more malleable people that will go along with certain issues and certain protocols and have completely different attitudes to more authoritarian regimes. You're importing people who've already got a collective mindset. Britain and the Anglofied nations have always been a lot more independently orientated. The family structures are very cellular. They don't go much past mother, father, and children, and they have a loose bonds after that. But you're importing people who have more of a clannish mentality and will follow more clannish lines. And I think that's what's behind all of this. What do you think?